Not shockingly, much of the controversy around vaccine requirements is dramatically exaggerated by people looking to get attention, people looking to fundraise, people looking to fearmonger, people looking to play the victim card. Most Americans support vaccine requirements for workplaces, classrooms, and sporting events, period. Just a majority. When I say most, I mean a majority. Now, I don't say this because I think that just because something is popular, it should be the law. I don't. There was a point where a lot of people thought gay marriage shouldn't be legal. That didn't mean that that's what it should be. You don't put everything to a vote. But I say this because there is not nearly the controversy over vaccine requirements that some want you to believe there is. So the numbers from a new CNN poll, overall, for everyday activities, only 51% favor versus 49% oppose vaccine requirements. That's a very, very small, it's basically within the margin of error, 50-50. But when you say, what about vaccine requirements for places of work? 54% are in favor. The other 46% are split between against and being unsure. 54% say vaccines should be required for places of work. 55% say vaccines should be required for in-person classes. 55% say vaccines should be required for sporting events or concerts. Comparatively, only 41% say vaccines should be required for the grocery store. That's predictable. That's not shocking to me. Also, every month that this poll is done, support for these vaccine requirements goes up. And I anticipate that the numbers will be even higher in terms of support for these vaccine requirements in another month. So this is not overwhelming support. It's not like after Sandy Hook with universal background checks, 88, 90% of the country said, we need universal background checks. We still couldn't get it done, by the way, but it's a slight majority. Whereas right-wing media would have you believe this is tyranny over which the entire country is outraged. That's just not the case. Part of the reason why support continues to increase for these requirements is that the virus is spreading and things are really, really bad in much of the country. If everyone were vaccinated, it would effectively reduce the total public health burden of COVID down to about the level of the flu. We don't have that. The unvaccinated are burdening the healthcare system to such a degree that there's very little choice left but for Joe Biden to try these ideas. This sort of spreading anti-vaxxerism that has infected so many is a virus of itself. It's its own infection. And let's be honest, when we say more than half the country supports most of these requirements, it's mostly Democrats, a fair number of independents, and a very small number of Republicans. Public health has become partisan. Science has become partisan. You don't like the science? Pretend that science is just an opinion and come up with a different one. That's a real tragedy that we're experiencing. And unfortunately, although we're dealing with it to a far greater degree than most other countries, it's actually starting to infect some other countries as well. And we're going to talk more about that a little bit later on in the program. Let me know if you favor vaccine requirements for work, concerts, grocery stores. You can find me on Twitter at @dpackman and let me know your thoughts.